I'm headed over to the gym. I'm working out back and biceps today. Last night, a couple of friends and I, we went over to a friend's condo. I wore like pretty slim, light blue jeans. What I'm trying to say is because I'm on a cycle, I'm taking tests, I'm constantly going to the gym, I'm constantly eating like a bear. I'm growing, right? Just hanging out. I'm gonna go berserk. I'm gonna literally go berserk. You know, if I wasn't on a cycle, I'd probably be like, oh, you silly little phone. Like, it's okay, I forgive you. But like, because I got the roid rage in me, I'm like, no. Last night we went out and in the elevator, like, my friends, I'm like in my pants, like literally digging at my underwear, like pulling them down because they're so tight and they're like squished up in my areas where, you know, there should be comfort and there should be looseness and there should be, you know, little breathable space, but like it was all scrunched up in there. And I'm like in the elevator, like pulling down, and my girlfriends especially were like, yo, what are you doing? Like, are you picking at something? And I'm like, no, the underwear is so tight on me right now. In my opinion, you could pass with wearing the same size underwear for 2 to 3 years, depending on how rapidly your body's growing. Obviously, you might have to up a size, but because I'm on a cycle and with this new test definitely seeping into my system and I feel it, I'm definitely at a size large in underwear now. And so I guess in terms of like an update on size, I gotta up my underwear size. So I'm going over to one of the stores, Nordstrom Rack, because my favorite underwear brand are Saxx underwear. I think it's a Canadian brand. I wasn't gonna necessarily do this, but last night when my friends are like, yo, you gotta get some new underwear, bro. Like, I'm literally in the elevator, like picking at it as if I'm picking at something else. And also, here, I could try and show you guys. I'm wearing a pair of underwear right now. Oh my God, this is actually social suicide. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna like literally swerve into the next lane. Cha-ching. Found a couple Saxx underwear. Actually, I found a handful of Saxx underwear. They're pretty reasonably priced. They're like $17, which is honestly pretty good because if you were to go to like a regular price retailer, like that sells them for regular, sorry, my mascaroni is falling. You could probably find Saxx underwear for like $30, but here they're like, darn him. Now the thing with these Saxx underwear is that since all the stores open, the only colors available are white. At least in the size that I'm looking for. Now the thing with white underwear is that they're dangerous. No, men to men, skid marks are dangerous, especially in white underwear. I know that's gonna sound dirty, but it's risky. You know, you go to the gym and you're working out legs and you're wearing white underwear and they're like, you know, gluing up in the cheeks. You don't know what's gonna come out. So I think I'm gonna put the white ones down. I bought Nike underwear for $12.99, baby. I was holding on to these like with dear life. I was like, nobody touched my Nike $12 underwear. So I didn't even get a chance to put it down to see even what I bought. For all I know, these could be like loosey-goosey like boxers. I also don't even know what color I got. I'm lucky to have found a large size Nike underwear. Oh, so they're pink. Yeah, definitely will match my personality, I guess. They are perfect because they're boxer briefs and they're tight. You could tell they're gonna be snug and they're gonna be hugging my legs. Now let's go do back and biceps. After many, many weeks, I have finally come to an end of this glorious compound, Anavar. I started Anavar from a new supplier 4 to 5 weeks ago. The Anavar from this supplier contained 50 tablets per package, and the dosage per tablet was 25 milligrams. For the first 2 weeks with this Anavar, I began with 25 milligrams per day. Afterwards, I finished the last few weeks taking 50 milligrams per day, which was 2 tablets with this supplier. When I initially began with my test sip cycle, I threw in the Anavar 2 to 3 weeks in. I do this because I like when the test hits and builds up in my system for the first month-ish before I add another compound on top of that. Before incorporating Anavar into my cycles, I did my classic research on Google. I was typing left and right to the point where my fingers were starting to ache. I was doing my research on YouTube and learned that Anavar is very mild standalone. So I was like, I definitely want to test sip on top of that. I was taking, like I said, nearing the end, 50 milligrams of Anavar, which is safe and effective. However, I know that 75 milligrams a day of Anavar is also considered normal and obviously much more powerful. For my next cycle, yes, I love being on cycles, whether people think it's worth it or not for me. For my next cycle, cycle number 4, I'm definitely going to up my dosage of Anavar to 75 milligrams per day. Now, let me talk about my experience with Anavar now that I've come to an end. I experienced little to no side effects with Anavar. The only major side effect that I experienced with Anavar was being absolutely broke because Anavar is so darn, it's expensive. Yeah, it definitely leaves my wallet hanging loose. After running Anavar for a little too long, liver baby, I hope you're doing okay. I can happily say that I lost a significant amount of body fat in certain areas where I do tend to carry the most weight that doesn't need to necessarily be there. Although I don't really train my core in general, the only time I'll use my core or, use my core is when I'm working out different body parts and I need to incorporate core. And lastly, let me go over my strength update again with Anavar. Anavar definitely, I could definitely say that Anavar helped with my ability to lift heavier at the gym. I explained in a video a couple weeks back where I was at the gym and I was training triceps and I was doing like tricep raises, and out of nowhere, like it hit me in the face. I went from, I think I was using like a 50 or 60, and I immediately grabbed a barbell that was 20 pounds heavier than what I was using, and it was like the strength just kicked in, and I like literally went at it. I was like, nice. So yes, that's my little update with coming to an end with this Anavar. I definitely will incorporate it into another cycle.